all love cartoons, but sometimes they keep us on the edge of our seats with their ongoing mysteries. What's the Krabby Patty's secret formula? What do the Loud House parents look like? How much is Dexter's Laboratory's electricity bill? Make sure you watch this video until the end to know the answer to all your questions. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe to never miss a video again. Today, we're discussing 10 cartoon secrets finally revealed. Krabby Patty formula. Let's start with the secret that we've been dying to have the answer for quite a lot of seasons of Spongebob Squarepants. What actually is the secret Krabby Patty formula that makes these burgers so delicious? It's something Planktons can't wait to find out, but we believe the secret has actually been cracked some time ago. At least that's what the fans think, of course. We've all seen the secret formula for Krabby Patties that's actually just gibberish text with added measurements. Another episode also showed SpongeBob actually preparing the burger from scratch. While this was a pretty decent Krabby Patty formula reveal, it's still not the real thing, and SpongeBob Squarepants fans are dying to find out the real formula just as much as Plankton. This secret recipe, which was supposedly published on Nick.com, shows off a bunch of different ingredients, including crab meat. This caused a huge concern with Twitter users, so much so that Nickelodeon had to step in and declare that Mr. Krab was definitely not a cannibal. The mystery remains. However, this Reddit user shared an interesting theory that Krabby Patty's secret formula is actually nothing. The user claims that having a secret formula is just a ruse to keep Plankton occupied and stop him from opening his own business. While the show might never fully reveal the secret formula, fans have so many theories, we bet at least one of them is true. Tom and Jerry's Mammy Two Shoes. If you're a 90s kid, you've probably grown up watching Sunday morning cartoons, and one of them included Tom and Jerry. The adventures of the popular cat and mouse have been a part of a lot of people's childhoods, but there's one mystery we never even remember being revealed. Do you remember Mammy Two Shoes? She's a heavy-set African-American woman that frequently appears in the episodes to boss the two characters around. We usually only see her from the waist down, but you know it's Mammy Two Shoes from her sleeveless dress, white apron, yellow socks, and red slippers. Her character was inspired by Hattie McDaniel, who played Mammy in Gone with the Wind. We've always wondered what Mammy Two Shoes actually looked like, and we finally managed to find a face reveal. Here's what Mammy looks like. In the 48th Tom and Jerry episode, we finally see Mammy's actual face, but you have to be fast if you want to catch it. When Mammy leaves for her Saturday night bridge club, Tom decides to throw a cat party. Jerry, of course, calls Mammy and tells her what happened. She rushes back home, and as you can see her running, you can catch a glimpse of what her face looks like. It's the only episode that ever features Mammy's face, but if you don't pause it at the right time, you're going to miss it. Wizard Kelly from Proud Family. Proud Family is a Disney cartoon that follows the life of Penny Proud and her family. The show is hilarious, and it has a character that sparked quite a lot of mystery over the years. Wizard Kelly is a retired basketball player that frequently appears on Proud Family. He's incredibly arrogant and cocky, and he has an absolutely terrible memory. You probably remember him from never knowing the character's actual names. He was also the character that never showed the front of his face, much like a lot of other characters we'll show you today. Wizard Kelly also went viral after a few people spotted the similarity with a White House official standing in the background of one of Obama's speeches. There's no real explanation why Disney decided to only show him from the neck down, but we did manage to find what Wizard Kelly actually looks like. You can actually catch him in the Proud Family movie, but you have to pay close attention. It happens in the scene where they were being swept away by peanut butter, and just for a split second, you can see Wizard Kelly falling while he's running away. While he's falling, he finally reveals his face, much to the surprise of the Proud Family fans. What do you think of his face? Have you imagined him looking like this? Comic book guy's name. Here's one show that is so iconic everyone knows its theme song. But do you know it had a character whose secret wasn't really revealed until 17 seasons later? The Simpsons superfans probably know this, but if you don't know everything about the show, this might come as a huge surprise. Remember the comic book guy that frequently appears on the show? He's the sarcastic owner of the comic book store in Springfield, and he's mostly known for his almost dramatic passion for comic books. The fans of the show had to accept that his name was just the comic book guy for quite a lot of years before the reveal finally came around in season 17. The name reveal happens in the episode called Homer and Ned's Hail Mary Pass, where the comic book guy finally admits to Ned that his name is actually Jeff Albertson. The episode aired during the Super Bowl show, and the reveal sent shockwaves throughout the show's fan base. Fans were so invested in finding out the real name of the guy, they actually got upset his name is something as generic as Jeff Albertson. It turns out that the creators of the show did this on purpose. purpose, just to make the viewers angry. Does the comic book guy look like Jeff to you? Some superfans are in such denial, they still refer to him by his nickname rather than his actual name. Powerpuff Girls, Ms. Sara Bellum. Cartoon Network loves to hide faces from random adult characters of their shows, and Ms. Sara Bellum from the Powerpuff Girls was one of them. The show first aired in 1998, and this headless character with stylish outfits appeared in many episodes. You could usually find her alongside the mayor, as she was his deputy, and so-called the brains of the operation. Quite ironic considering that we never got to see her actual head, isn't it? Her red, long, curly hair often covers a lot of her face, but she's known for her red outfit and fashionable high-heel shoes. Sara's role is to be the voice of reason for the mayor, as well as the girls, but she's also pretty skilled at hand-to-hand combat. Her character was pretty important, and we're honestly surprised her face was only shown in a single scene. It was revealed on the 10th anniversary TV special called The Powerpuff Girls Rule. Yes, the Powerpuff Girls fans had to wait 10 years to finally see Ms. Sara Bellum's face. Luckily, you won't have to wait that long. Here it is. It was only shown for a split second, and it could be easily ignored, but we managed to catch a glimpse of it. Is this what you imagined the sweet Sara Bellum to look like? No wonder she gets called Sweet Cheeks. Cow and Chicken's parents. No one knows why cartoons love to hide the faces of adult characters, but Cow and Chicken is another show where we never really see what the parents look like. Out of all cartoons out there, this is the one where people should actually see who the parents are of these questionably biological siblings. It's hard to believe Cow and Chicken are even siblings in the first place, and the cherry on top to this strange show is, of course, the red guy, who is on a completely different level of bizarre. Well, if you're really wondering what Cow and Chicken's parents actually look like, you'd better hold on to your seats because we're about to show you. And no, they don't have human bodies and animal heads. They're actually human altogether. In an episode called Cow and Chicken Reclining, you can see Chicken throwing things out of the closet. One of the things he pulls out is Cow's science project, which is the upper bodies of his parents. While it hasn't been confirmed that these are actually Cow and Chicken's parents, you can easily see that their clothing matches the clothes of the actual characters. Out of all face reveals, this has to be our absolute favorite. Kenny from South Park. And who can forget about South Park, one of the best adult cartoons there is. South Park draws in a huge audience that tunes in to watch every single episode. It's known for having absolutely no filter, and the show loves to use humor to portray the world's social issues and other controversial topics. One of the biggest mysteries of South Park is Kenny, one of the main characters, who is always wearing a hoodie to hide his face and muffle his voice. There are actually several episodes where Kenny partially reveals his face without the hoodie, but there's one special scene that fully reveals Kenny's face, hair, and his speaking voice. In 1999, the South Park creators released South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, a popular movie based on the series. At the end of the movie, Kenny might have a tragic ending, but the creators have cleverly decided to turn it into an iconic scene by completely revealing his face and his voice. The fandom loved it, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely a movie to watch. And unlike many other face reveals we're showing you today, this is the only one where you don't have to pause the movie at the perfect time to get a glimpse of this wonderful face reveal. We have to say, Kenny is quite handsome. Dexter's Laboratory Electric Bill. Here's an interesting reveal for you. Have you ever seen the popular Cartoon Network show called Dexter's Laboratory? In a summary, a boy called Dexter runs a science lab in the basement of his parents' house. He gets frequently annoyed with his sister Dee Dee, who just loves to test out everything there is in his laboratory, and that often leads to no good. Once you start getting into the cartoon, you'll notice that Dexter does spend a lot of time in his laboratory, and many fans have been asking the same question. What is Dexter's electricity bill, and how come his parents don't know he's running a full laboratory underneath the house? Well, we finally managed to find the answers for this one, and it's not just called cartoon logic, although we have to admit that cartoon logic is definitely flawed in Dexter's laboratory. Dexter has frequently been shown as being strapped for cash and having to sell lots of stuff to NASA and other companies. Many fans suspect he's simply also stealing power from someone else. In an episode called Repairanoid, an electrician comes to repair a fuse, and Dexter uses him to fix his lab electricals. When the final bill is issued, it shows up as a whopping $40,000, which is probably the amount Dexter spends on his electricity bill. Here's another question for you. How on earth is he able to afford this? Eddie's brother from Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Ed, Edd, and Eddy is a show every 90s kid enjoyed watching. Do you remember everyone on the show? Eddie's brother is one of those characters that gets frequently mentioned, even though he's never actually seen on the show. Yes, you probably didn't even know that Eddie even had a brother if you didn't pay close attention. But fans of Ed, Edd, and Eddy have definitely heard of Eddie's brother and all his adventures. We never see him because he moved out, but Eddie treats him like a role model. According to Eddie, his brother's smart, cool, and multi-talented. He has a couple of secrets, and unfortunately, one of them will probably remain a mystery forever. The thing is, we don't really know Eddie's brother's full name, even though they showed us his room and we were told of his stories. Eddie's brother remains a mystery. However, his face finally gets revealed in Ed, Edd, and Eddy's Big Picture Show movie that first aired in 2009, 10 years after the first Ed, Edd, and Eddy episode. And here he is, looking just as cool as Eddie has described him. You can definitely tell that the two of them are brothers, and it's kind of cute the way Eddie admires his older brother. Although the show has ended, we do have one question we'd love to have an answer to. Does anyone know Eddie's brother's actual name? The Loud House Parents. We've said it before, but we actually think we are the biggest Loud House fans there are. The show is our favorite. You can find a dozen of Loud House videos on our channel where we showcase what the characters would look like reimagined in alternate cartoon universes. But there are two characters we always leave out, and there's a good reason behind it. We've never seen their faces. Just like typical cartoon parents, Mommy and Daddy Loud only ever show the bottom half of their bodies. The two are very loving toward their children and act as caring parents who are also stern when they need to be. There were a few glimpses of what their faces might actually look like throughout the seasons, but we've never seen them complete. On the Loud House Christmas special, we finally got to see what the parents look like. They're spotted after the family brings Christmas family spirit to their neighbor. It's also the first time we see the entire Loud family and their friends together in a single take. We bet there was a fan that wished they could see what Rita and Lynn Loud Sr. look like, and Nickelodeon actually delivered it during the Christmas special. That really did make all of our Christmases so much more special, and we absolutely adore their faces. That's it for Revealing Cartoon Secrets. For more videos like this one, make sure to watch 10 cartoons that look different in other countries. See you next time!